Hello everyone, welcome to another time with Chinwe Oyedikinwa for the Storyteller. And today I'll be telling the story titled I Am Obiora's Wife. The story I'm about to tell you is something that many still find hard to believe to this day because it defies logic and explanation. It happened in eastern part of Nigeria and it started this way. It was a normal evening in Mazi Ikendo and his wife Obidia's compound. They were actually sitting outside in the big house that their son Obiora had built for them years ago. It was actually a big house. Obiora had built it before he died in a car accident. When Obiora built the house, after the opening of the house and everything, his mother had told him that, Obiora, you have made me very, very proud. What remains for you to do for me is to give me grandchildren. I want you to get married and I want you to have children so that I can carry my grandchildren. Obiora had smiled and promised his mom that when he'll be coming back next time, he'll be coming with his wife to show her the girl he wanted to marry. And everyone had been so happy. But while returning to Lagos, Obiora died in a car accident. His family mourned him. His mother was devastated. But well, they accepted their loss. There was nothing they could do about it. They buried Obiora. And so this fateful evening, Mazi Ikendo and his wife Obidia was sitting in the front of their compound when a young woman walked in with 3 children. She greeted them respectfully and welcomed them. She asked if this was Mazi Ikedo's compound, and the old couple said yes, that this was the compound. And she greeted them and then she introduced herself. She said that she's Amaka and that she's Obiora's wife. And these are Obiora's children. And that Obiora was on his way, that he actually dropped them by the gate. He said he wanted to buy bread, and his mother loved bread a lot, and if he didn't bring bread home, his mother will ask him that. So he came, as we were coming all the way from Lagos, Obiora, as we were coming all the way from Lagos, you didn't see bread anywhere, so that he needs to rush and get bread at least to appease his mom. But while she was talking, the old couple were looking at her in a very weird way. And the Mazi Kendo asked again, who did you say you are? And she said, I am Obiora's wife. My name is Amaka, and these are Obiora's kids. That was when Obidia let out a big wail, calling on the neighbors in the Igbo language to come and see a woman who has come to remind her of her husband, of her son's death. And she was raising, the way women wail in the compound, Biano no, Biano no. And the way people gathered around and was like, what was happening? And the young girl was like confused. Amaka was like, have I done anything wrong? And she told them, she said that she married Obiora about 6 years ago in Lagos State. She was an orphan. She didn't have parents. Obiora was very nice to her. They met, they fell in love, and they got married. And that she didn't have parents, and so she wanted to meet Obiora's parents. Therefore, about 6 years, she has been asking Obiora, I want to see your parents, I want to see your parents. And every time Obiora will keep postponing and say, okay, we'll go next year. She told them that this particular time, she got very angry and she insisted that if Obiora didn't take her to see his parents, then she will leave the marriage, take her children with her and leave the marriage. And that is why he finally agreed, and that it was Obiora that brought them here, and that he just went to get bread. She repeated everything to the people, that he just said he wanted to get bread because his mom was asked about that bread. Said that Obiora is coming, that she just said he said he should come into the compound. The people there, everyone started looking at her in a strange way, and someone was calm enough to tell her, say, young woman, which of the Obiora are you talking about? And she said, Obiora. He told me to come to this compound. He said I should enter here. He told me that his father's name is Mazi Ikendo. And they said, well, do you have the picture of the Obiora? And she said, yes, that she even brought some of their family pictures, their wedding pictures. She wanted to show it to her parents-in-law. And when she brought out the picture, lo and behold, it was the picture of Obiora. Immediately Obidia, his mom, saw the pictures. She screamed and she collapsed. And everybody, the men took Amaka and said, come, let us take you somewhere. And they took her to the grave. And they told her that this is Obiora's grave, that he died 6 years ago in a car accident while returning to Lagos from the village. and that he has been buried. He died about 7 years ago, sorry, and that he has been buried. And she was like, no, 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 Obiora is alive. Obiora is my husband. He's the father of my kids. We've been living for about 6 years now. And they said, no, young woman. And so they went. They said the best thing is to go get the burial pictures and everything and show to her. And immediately she saw the burial picture. Behold, really, it was Obiora. She saw in the coffin, in the burial poster, she also collapsed. And so there was confusion everywhere. People were trying to revive her. People were trying to revive Obiora's mom. They were trying to revive Amaka. The children were crying. Nobody even wanted to come near the children because people were scared. Were like, what kind of children would this one be now? Are they humans or are they spirits? So, but Mazi Kendo gathered the three children to himself. From what it seems now, they were his grandchildren. Whether they were half ghosts, half humans, or whether they were humans or they were ghosts, it didn't matter. They were his children, his grandchildren. So he gathered them to him as the children were crying, and everybody was surprised. The elders of the land, they kept shaking their head. People kept saying, what kind of thing is this? And some people said, let's wait. Maybe he will come back from where he went to buy the bread. They waited till evening time, and they didn't see him. He didn't come back with any bread. And so Mazi Ikendo and his wife they accepted Amaka, their daughter-in-law, and she started staying with them she was staying with them for weeks while the villagers began to make plans. Amaka was an orphan, so she didn't have any family to go to. And so after a few weeks, the villagers decided they got some representatives who will follow her to their house in Lagos, to get their things and for her to relocate and stay with her parents-in-law. And lo and behold, when they got to the house, everything in the house had disappeared. All their properties, their pictures, every single thing had disappeared from the house. That was when Amaka truly believed that it was not as if Obiora abandoned her, that she had married a ghost, and that she had been living with a ghost for 6 years, and that she had slept with a ghost and had children for him, and she never knew. To this day, this story is one that baffles people a lot, and it's raised a lot of questions concerning the children that the ghost had with Amaka. Are they real? People begin to argue, are these children, are they ghosts, fully ghosts, or are they fully humans, or are they a mixture of humans and ghosts? These questions will continue to rise, come up, and people do not want to associate with such children because you cannot really explain who they are and what they are. And so we see that it still boils back to the fact Obiora's spirit did not rest in peace because there was something he promised his mom, that he was going to show her the woman he wanted to marry. He was going to give her grandchildren. And so when he died, when his life was cut short suddenly, his spirit could not rest till he achieved that particular thing that he wanted to achieve. So that is how the story goes, and that's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed the story. I'm Obiora's wife. Watch out for the next story from my book, a collection of ghost stories. Once more, this is Chinwe, the storyteller. Thank you.